Not a main three characters ne aakuda connection ullada is
I think
PKJ.
it was kind
What
of
is that show about
capitalism versus communism, because like what you say, capitalism is equivalent to greed, and that is what an ideal communist will go to a government, like will go to a hospital with like run by a state and stuff like that. But then this a very very important hospital called Jayamata Hospital. It's again no surprises there. Is allegedly based on this. Actually, there's actually this spiritual leader called Mata Amritangamai. How is it? How does the pronunciation go?
Amritanandamai. Amritanandamai.
So, by the way, her hospital is pretty good. Like, like pretty big. I happened to like, I think for my granny, if I'm not wrong, we went to. It's a pretty big campus in Edapalli, that side. So they have like, it's a huge hospital. I'm not talking about this. Like, though this hospital, and they literally have a portrait which looks like her.
They have a poster that's almost like her. So yeah, and they keep saying Hare Krishna also. So after every sentence, there's a Hare Krishna. So yeah, it pretty much. It's pretty much that thing. Yeah,
Doctor
the doctor
character is pretty
like
greedy
the
as such,
general
yeah.
hospital as a whole is completely capitalistic and capitalistic, and it goes against it's pretty much a money making hospital. It's not
because those
a
workers
social
are protesting
endeavor
and
or
stuff.
anything.
They are first the staff
Exactly.
was protesting.
SR talks there. SR goes and talks there as well. So workers are protesting about how they are being treated and they're not given enough money or anything of the sort. And even the doctor is a doctor. They say that the doctor earns a lot. But again, doctors should earn a lot. Because നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഒരു society, usually doctors that earn a lot are those who are working with high hospitals. And those hospitals, ആൾക്കാരെ ചൂഷണം. What is ചൂഷണം in English? I forgot. Okay, basically take advantage of people. Take advantage of people and take advantage of their helplessness and basically make money, right? So that's pretty much what this hospital is as well, Jayamata Hospital. And the doctor is a person who makes a lot of money and goes against the doctor and the usual and the very ideal principle is help as many people as possible. That's what you envision when you think about a doctor. But he is not like when Roy was about to die. She calls Roy and Baria, who's Lena. Lena calls his doctor and he's like, I'm in a medical conference. He was just playing pool or something, and he's not bothered.
Very casual.
Yeah, just like everyday things. And at the end, because of that, they don't get a vein on his leg also, because they don't know that the patient, they didn't know that the patient was paralyzed.
That was the worst.
And because of that, they couldn't find a vein and he died. So yeah. That's what happens there.
Ramya Mission's character was like the girlfriend of the police officer / I don't know what do you call. She wants to escape, especially from her husband, and that's how she befriends this police officer. Then also she befriends the travel agency. Then she takes the flight off to Canada, and then this police officer is left to do nothing.
And she also, I don't think it's only okay. It was instigated by the husband's behavior. It's not only that. Karan, after the husband is dead after that, PKJ kills him. She could have called off her plan there, but she doesn't. So it shows her. She says, "This is I'm just paraphrasing. So I want to leave this wretched country." So she wants to, she just doesn't find value in staying in India. So she goes to Canada, and that shows where in India nurses and doctors are not paid like a lot of money, right? And like maybe doctors are well off in like Peru. If you look at very capitalist oriented hospitals, money making hospitals, I would like probably doctors earn a lot. Pakshandalam, in normal hospitals, if you're a state-run hospital or a charitable hospital, they don't, and they can't charge as much because these hospitals can't charge them as much because if you don't have a money-minded concept of running a hospital,
Hmm.
okay, then you don't make money, right?
They
You
don't make
can't
money.
give
Yeah.
that money to the doctor. So it should be, the ideal situation would be it's a state-funded hospital, and the state puts in more money to give to the doctors. So anyway, I'm moving away from the thing. So basically, nurses are not paid enough, right? Nurses
Hmm.
are not respected. So she probably thinks that it's not worth it to stay in India either.
Yeah,
Like
it's
Canada, like
more of a
they
protection
basically
for a son
beg
also.
for nurses to come, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, and for son as well.
Like for us,
So
for a
yeah,
small son's sake, also, it's like she kind of like leaves.
yeah, probably so. Maybe her storyline was also to show this aspect as well, how India, with all of these political issues and all, is not being governed well either. Maybe,
Hmm.
I'm not sure, but maybe.
Hmm.
So yeah, because in an ideal communist state, inganta the doctors and all would probably be
Be well
high
paid.
up in the economic idalle. Karam they are very essential work ചെയ്യണ ആൾക്കാരല്ലേ.
Hmm.
So ഇവിടെ പക്ഷേ doctors and especially nurses are used for the hospitals to make
To make
money,
money.
right? So that becomes the hospital owner becomes the bourgeois, and they become the doctors and nurses become the proletariat. So
Hmm.
yeah, maybe it's because of that is a connection as well.
Right. And even I think like once we go to like even the Lena's character also was like, though I think like was it like more of an emotional support, or how was that like construed as this?
She was probably, yeah, emotional support. She was someone who then aligned with Roy's ideals as well. Like,
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
so someone who she joined Roy when he was flying high, and he was a firebrand Che Guevara kind of character.
Hmm.
And then she joined him, and then these issues happened because of her, right? Not because of her in terms of she
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 being
did
a
that, but
uh,
she being there, അത് കാരണമല്ല, it's because she was there that he went to that college
hmm.
and put up that flag, and it is because of that guy Sadevan thought that this guy can oust him, and it is because of him being in that college that they came and uh, attacked him.
Hmm.
So it's just, yeah, emotional support, and she probably feels like responsibility towards him, and she shouldn't leave him whatever his state, because she's also, she was with him before that, and she was probably a reason why this became of him. So yeah,
Yeah,
emotional
like
support and ideology.
even that jail in that Vatta jail, that police officer character tells him like why like he considers her like his dead sister, like because it looks like,
Yeah.
and he's like why didn't you leave this Murali Gopy's character long ago? He's like, he's pretty useless, he's dependent on you. But then towards the end we get an idea as to why she still sticks on to him, because he was what he was before, and now he's a little different, and then towards the end is what he is able to do it.
Yeah, and like PK Jain realizes that as well. At the end, he says, like when this Roy's funeral is being held,
Hmm.
like his last rites or whatever, he says maap, right? So sorry.
Hmm.
He
Hmm.
says sorry for whatever he
Because still
said.
then it is
So
still
he
like
aligns
if
with
you
her.
remember, even this police officer, he hits off all these student union people, and then
Hmm.
once after he killed off this husband of the Rambena mission, the nurse's character, he was
Hmm.
supposed, he, in order to get relieved of some cases, which because he has kind of like it shows a corrupt person, because they taking rents and stuff like that. So in order
Hmm.
to like relieve him of some cases, or at least especially with regard to hitting the student union people, he had to go tell
Hmm.
sorry to the
Yeah,
students. So
yeah.
then he's like, I think what I have a picture of my father. I will never ever ask for forgiveness at all. But then towards the end, he did ask for forgiveness, but to someone he misjudged as being useless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So that Mappa scene you're talking about. So
yeah, Mapasi,
Kaideri
yeah.
Sadevan basically tells him to say sorry to the communist Anigal, that
Twin
that
Indian
were
people.
working with Ajay Sadevan,
Hmm.
and yeah, he says he won't say sorry because he doesn't like ideologically he doesn't align, and he doesn't think that what he did was wrong, right?
Hmm.
പക്ഷെ ഇവിടെ when he realizes what Roy has been through and why Roy became like this and why Lena's character supports Roy, he understands his mistake in misjudging Roy and misappropriating him for a just a എന്താണ് just a പുസ്തകം വായിക്കുന്ന just an intellectual who's just into his books and nothing else.
Hmm.
This so yeah, he says sorry for whatever you know misappropriating him, and also he was very verbal about it as well. Every time he was very verbal about it as well, open about it. So yeah, he probably said sorry for that.
Yeah, because that's the
And at
point
the
where
end,
he
he
becomes
he he
political.
he basically takes revenge for him as well by killing Kaiteri Sadev.
That's the point where he becomes political. Like still then it's more
Yeah,
of an
pretty much.
apolitical, corrupt person. He more of
Yeah,
desires and greed, and a lot of
yeah,
corruption is what drove his life. That's why he chose the profession of being a police officer. But then towards the end, it's more of overthrowing the oppressor, or overthrowing the one who was behind everything, or behind
yeah.
that scene. Because given that scene, the way it was cut, no, like it doesn't show that you're good. Like he goes to the stage, he takes a knife and he pokes it towards him, but it's not like it's like regularly shot, and like cut scene, dark, like
Yeah,
it's like
it cuts there and blank
cut,
screen,
snap,
and
yeah. Like
childhood
every 2 seconds it
goes back
kept
to
flickering.
childhood. Yeah.
Like it
Yeah,
keep
correct,
like,
correct.
hmm.
Yeah,
So that is a
yeah.
very
So
interesting this thing.
yeah, it's very
Hmm.
and yeah.
Saying a part,
Overall,
music I didn't really like a lot. Like what
I
the left
like that
right,
the
left
initial
right,
music
left.
when the credits were rolling. That was
Ah,
written by it's some anthem song written by Murali
Murali
Gopy.
Gopy.
ഭൂമി തന്റെ അച്ചുതണ്ടിലായിരം യുഗങ്ങളായി മൂകയാനമെന്നുമേ തുടർന്നിടുന്നു വാനവീതിയിൽ സദാ 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 സദാ.
I didn't really stress on the lyrics. I didn't really listen to lyrics much, but the tune is good. Like generally, it evokes something in you. But at the end, there was like some other song which I didn't like. But this keeps playing as a background noise, this anthem song, and that's pretty good. I quite like that. But
Well,
yeah, like cinematically, if you
time
talk
it
about,
could-
there are issues. There are issues like directorial issues. Windows. Like
Like
one thing
everywhere,
is that when Lena plays that,
guitar.
a song on Che Guevara, song called Hasta Siempre on Che Guevara. Okay, it's written on Che Guevara,
Oh, okay.
and she plays it, and she becomes Spanish. In like 2 seconds, she's completely Spanish, and it's like all of that. It's kind of weird. Everything should seem like it's being taken from real life. Like, so that going into that song, that won't happen in real life, because how can her, she becomes completely our correct Spanish accent and some stuff like that, and it just doesn't
Voice, but the voice did
doesn't
not.
work.
It looked like the voice was the same.
Voice changed.
Like a.
I think they it completely changed
completely
as
the
I
voice, yeah.
remember. Yeah, so that wasn't great, and generally, I don't remember specific scenes, but generally sometimes it didn't feel like it was proper real life flowing. So yeah, this just that. But I don't know to comment on the direction much more. But generally it was great. But the acting was good.
Yeah, the acting was especially. I would let like this.
Apart from that, that I think that the person who plays that travel agency guy, the pervert, he overacted it.
That accent literally was like.
Yeah, that was a little too much. So.
Like
yeah,
I know you wanted to show him as
generally
dumb.
like the main characters.
Like the character was supposed to be dumb and looks at the girl in a very looks at the character in a very sexual way. But then it looked like little cartoonish is what I felt.
Cartoonish, and some stuff was very very in your face, which would not be. But It's just to show we understood that he was perverted and all. But after she goes one of her visits to his office, when she leaves, he turns
Take a
around,
book.
takes a book, and what is that book? I forgot what that book was. Is
Where's
some
the G spot? Something
yeah,
like
where is the G spot? Like, oh, like, can you be more in your face? Like, I don't think anyone will do that. So all of that was in, like, it was too much. Like, it's like
little bit too into
treating the audience like idiots or something in that scene.
Uh,
So yeah,
like we got
yes,
it that he's a pervert and he's
yeah, we
kind of
got it.
a-
Enough, enough. No need. Like, I don't think anyone's going to have that like look in their office. I really don't see that happening, but maybe there are people out there.
Mm. Yeah, but
But yeah,
also
anyway.
the way Malayalam Manorama was Malayalam.
Malayalam, Malayalam.
Yeah, because that particular
Malayalam.
publication, like, the communists don't like them because that's
Yeah,
considered like a
UDF. It has a
bourgeois
UDF
UDF
channel.
kind of a thing. And,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
there was a
but
god where you
yeah,
right.
everything is like this only, right? In this movie, everything is as close as possible, not on the same, because CPI becomes RPI, stuff like that. So
Malayalam because
yeah.
Malayalam. Then
Malayalam. Yeah.
it's a lot of things to be like pure gold. And finally, I think the mother character was I genuinely felt that, you know, some like I've seen her in other movies like this Manju Varida film. How old are you?
How old are you?
He was that vendor. Like she went to Manju Varida to like she went to one rich person's house and told Manju Varida to get their organic farming thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you,
Yeah,
have you seen
I've seen that movie, but no, I haven't seen the complete movie. I've seen only parts.
Oh, okay. No,
So
but
I'm not very
this character, like,
Is she there in that as well? That
yeah,
actor?
she's in. There also she's like it sounds very homely kind of a person.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah, she was like some of the scenes were pretty, like, she was pretty good at it.
yeah.
You know, especially her accent and all. Her accent and like it shows like some Tamasikil and all of that. She's a very she's one who has I feel like, I don't know if there are many
Very
situations in
motherly.
the movie,
That's what I
but
felt.
motherly and very she has a good what do you say? Not good ideals, I guess, because she understands that when his son goes to jail, when her son goes to jail, and
He
in
goes
this
for a good
who
cause.
plays PK Jain's character, he comes and says, I killed a person, and she goes berserk for some time. Then he says, like Jayan, like when Jayan goes and attacks and kills people and all, you're always with them.
Yeah, for the audience,
with
Jayan was actually a very superstar actor who he's the same Jayan, right? Who had happened to die in a helicopter, like there was an accident. Yeah, so he was actually a very famous actor in the early, like in the late 20th century in Kerala, and he was like the action star, as said. Yeah.
So when he says this, she says that is it that kind of case? That is like normally in movies the heroes fight for good, right? So here she's basically asking whether he's done it for for some good ideal, and he says that it is like that, and then she just drops it. Okay, you've done the right thing. So and she does again. He must go to jail because he did a wrong thing, in the eyes of the law. But she doesn't say anything against that. It's just that okay, I understand that you may have done it for a good cause. I'm all right with that. So
yeah, that's the and I think towards one final question to you. Okay, can one be a communist without knowing communism?
Can one be a communist
without knowing communism? About communism. For example, in the end, പറയുന്നില്ലേ ഈ അമ്മയും ലനയുടെ ക്യാരക്ടറാണ് യഥാർത്ഥമുള്ള കമ്മ്യൂണിസ്റ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നില്ലേ. So I'm doubting. Okay, maybe the Lena character obviously knows what Marxism and everything, because she's obviously the left. She was actually a left union student and everything that. But the Amma character was okay, fine. so what really comes of it as such? I'm not sure if she knows what exactly like Marx is Marxism and things like that. But then the question does arise. Can you be can you know about communism without knowing what Marx is and things like that?
You mean, can you be a communist without knowing communism?
That.
Yeah, I guess you can. Like, you can't profess communism, of course. You can't be a communist leader. You can't have debates on communism. But you have to, when you're living, you have to be something. Like, you're that something, maybe because of what you read, maybe because of your experiences. If it's completely based on experiences, you don't know what communism is. But I've seen situations where some people, the landlord, like, say it's a feudal system, and the landlord takes advantage of the workers. Then I'm with the workers. I want the workers to be good. Workers shouldn't be exploited against. That is again communism. Like, of course, communism has a lot of facets. But if you have that ideal, you're aligning with the communist
with the oppressed,
ideal, at least in
oppressed
one
against the oppressor.
Yeah. So
like even that Mamukoya.
So yeah, you can be there.
Even the Mamukoya character tells, no, I may not know about your communism, but I still stand with the Sahadevan character. He tells to that the Aliyar, if I'm not wrong. He tells that
correct.
Because though in the movie you might say that the Kaideri character is a kind of a villain and wants to destroy anyone who's in front of him, who's a competition to him, but then people still trust in him because he's the one who delivered them out of the oppressor, and he works for welfare of the people as such. Yeah.
Welfare of the people who are with him.
Yeah.
Mamukoya's character says that I don't know what communism is. I don't know what Kaideri Sadevan has done. But it is because of him that he takes care of the people who is with him, people who are with him.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what he sees. And he's probably a communist as well in the true sense, even if he doesn't know it, because he is a working professional. He believes that he should get his rights and stuff. Then that's what Kaideri Sadevan has provided for him. So yeah, I guess you can be you can have communist ideals without knowing what communism is. Not if you want to profess communism, but just as a if you are part of the proletariat. So yeah, I guess yes.
Right. So I think with that we come to a close. Varun, if you have any other points you would like to say with regard to the film, and how was your overall experience with regard to the podcast as such?
Yeah, so with regards to the film, it's quite a good film. Not like a great film, but a pretty good film. And as I said, I'm thoroughly surprised by how it reflects real life in so many aspects. But there are there are symbolisms as well. Like there in the first scene, there's like a shot of ants walking, and the last scene as well, there's a shot of ants walking. Like, Joel, can you talk more on that? Just that one thing, because I think that's very important, and you have an idea.
Yeah. So if I'm not wrong, in the first scene, the ants are walking in a straight line, or how is it actually? Yeah, I just remember the
first scene was straight line. I think first scene was straight line. Last scene was all scattered. That's why I remember it.
So this is just according to what I feel. Okay, so basically, I felt that fine. Someone who is part of the party won't stand up against the party, so will follow whatever the party line says. So I think I'll just bring an example of the recent KK Shailaja, who was the ex-health minister. Remarkable achievements she has done, especially with regard to COVID and with regard to Nipah as such. But then once the decision, I think by the CPIM committee, if I'm not wrong, had she was removed from her post and she was made the party whip, and then currently it's a different health minister in Kerala. So many people disagreed with that. Many people were like, oh, how can you do this? It's like that. It's people liked her a lot, or even these two characters in the movie as such. The press people, that is the Aliyar guy and the Suresh Kumar people who are wrote against the Kaideri person. Some in the people in the party might tell them as you're anti-party, you're going against the party, you're helping the opposition leaders, or at least those who are enemies by by publishing news against us. So you're against the party line. So ideally, if you're in the party line, you should follow the same path. So that's why even the Murali Gopy characters tell us, no, the party and what's the line? Party and party
പാർട്ടിയുടെ അടിത്തറ നശിപ്പിക്കരുത്.
Yeah, like don't spoil the structure
slash,
of the party.
The whole party. Yeah.
Because like what we're seeing in especially in India throughout, that how the CPIM party is actually diminishing slowly. So like from Bengal, it's almost not there. Like before, it was a huge bastion in Bengal. Then Tripura, it was also a huge party, and now it's only left to Kerala, wherein the CPIM is currently there. So how the structure is crumbling is what I think towards the end it's showing. That's what I felt like before. It's everyone wants to follow the ideal means of communism and so many of the facets, but then towards the end it becomes very cluttered with either somebody's greed and somebody who's thrown out of the party, or basically someone who goes against their own ideology in order to satisfy their own greed as such. So again, money is the key. Like I think that was the main character. What the police officer was like, no, money is more powerful than ideology is what one might say, because you can be a corrupt person, you can still get a lot of things, but if you keep saying ideology, it's very difficult to stay very pure to your ideology is what I felt. Either you go on a straight line, that means you have to be exactly left leaning, like all your policies should be very left leaning and stuff like that. But then towards the end you deviate from what you are, is what I feel like towards the end. What the ants were scattered in the beginning. I think like Arun said, the ants were in a straight line, they were moving. It's one of the first shots in the film, and towards the end these ants are scattered. So I think it's towards the end, it's how the structure is crumbling, but the ideology still remains. Like communism as an ideology is still present, because even many parties today in the country are following many of the socialist principles, like welfare and so many things. But then as a party, or as a, like how you saw Soviet Union, like Russia, how it was and everything, after the 90s it crumbled. Soviet Union was almost not there. It was like it was gone. So how it was before, and then how it got crumbled because of one's own moving away from one's own paths. That's what I felt.
I thought that, the last thing it could be like, once you said this, I thought that maybe the first thing is in the first scene, it's about how Kaide Sadhayan's father aligns with the party and says that you have to keep your people close, and whoever comes in your way, just, to them. So go and like everyone should be in one idealistic line. But at the end, this ant scene where everything's scattered comes when Lena's character says that they are not the ideal, they are not the communists. Me and Jayan's mother are the real communists, right? So there it's all scattered. So probably it means that communism, even though communism is one ideology, it has many other sub ideologies, and people may differ. But in order to stick with the general idea of communism, you may have to go different ways. You can't if you just go with one way, you probably will become like Kazeri Sadevan and be intolerant of everyone else. So maybe it's something like that. But it was pretty thought provoking.
Yeah,
that's the.
Anything else you felt?
And the second question, you were saying?
Yeah, anything else you felt with regard to?
Yeah, this is pretty much it with regards to the movie. So, yeah.
So I guess so some of the very pertinent questions. We must have missed several other aspects as well with regard to the movie, because it's actually more than 2.5 hours. Like 2 hours or 2.5 hours?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours movie. So there's a lot of hidden like symbolism in many of the aspects of the movie. So do check out the movie. It's available on MX Play. So MX Play is kind of like a free app wherein you can watch many movies for free. So do check it out. It's actually a really good movie, and like you'll also be able to have a basic idea about Kerala politics a bit, especially with regard to the movie, if you like watch it across, or even general also about how communism and the ideals does it stand true today and stuff like that. So I think with that being said, thank you so much, Varun, for coming again to this podcast and spending a long time with regard to the session. I hope that it wasn't very tiring with regard to the session, and also we hope to continue with the series. And if you audience like the episode, do let us know, because we would like to start this series as a part of the podcast. So if you like this episode and also would like to see further, do let us know, and also with regard to further recommendation as well on what we can do. And yeah, Varun, if anything else you would like to state with regard to your experience.
Yeah, it was great. It was just like a conversation, so no worries. I had fun. It was pretty nice. Anyway, we have this conversation after every movie we watch. So this was pretty much that, and I had fun. So let's see where this goes.
Yeah. Thank you once again, Varun. So thank you all listeners, and also you can check out this episode on our YouTube channel, also on Instagram, Spotify, and other platforms as well. So until then, stay tuned to the next episode, and thank you for watching. This current episode, the full length, will be available on YouTube, and also you have to find the latest updates about the session as well on Instagram and other platforms as well. So do like, share, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and also follow our Instagram page with regard to regular updates as well.